Hello. So it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. So in the December 2019 release of Superman number 18, the Man of Steel reveals he's been leading a double life. He is a journalist seeking the truth who also transforms into a powerful flying superhero. Though there are a few phone booths in 2020, these are the kind of spaces I'm going to talk about that allow two identities to exist at once where worlds collide. Leading a double life is exhausting, as Superman is well aware. Being a working parent, you also realize there's a strain and you're trying to be two places at once. I've utilized a space akin to Superman's phone booth in my professional life that I want to bring to everyone's attention. In 2016, I was a nursing mom, and I used mother's rooms or wellness rooms to be an architect and a mom simultaneously. I have an important disclaimer. I am coming from a perspective with quite a bit of privilege. I am a white, educated, middle-class woman who had a healthy pregnancy and delivered a healthy baby. Not all parents are so fortunate, and have a host of other challenges to contend with. This is not to say that anyone's experience with early parenthood is easier, but the circumstances vary. So this is a little of my story. In March of 2016, I welcomed a daughter into the world. For 9 months, I carried her inside of me, unaware how my life would change. And boy, did it change. I remember looking at her for the first time, and I had this odd feeling I had never experienced before, like we had always known one another. It was this strong sense of familiarity. But the reality was, we were complete strangers, and we needed to get to know each other, and all the territory in front of us was completely unfamiliar. My daily and nightly activities shifted dramatically. I went from caring mostly for myself to running an entire ecosystem responsible for feeding another human with my body for every 3 hours. It was a huge adjustment, and it was really stressful at times. I was fortunate to have 12 weeks off, and I spent those with a supportive partner, and we were then thrown into our next challenge, which was heading back to work. So, though we were apart, I still had a biological need to care for my daughter, and my body was still making breast milk around the clock. So I needed a private space to pump breast milk. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my opinions about breastfeeding. I feel like it's the ultimate labor of love. My body turned sugar, fat, and protein from my bloodstream into milk from our daughter's first 7 months. We, like many parents, did a mixture of breastfeeding and formula feeding. The World Health Organization actually recommends parents breastfeed for the first 6 months. Breast milk itself is pretty amazing. Nutritionally, it's a complete and perfect food for an infant. It gives them many important immunities, and it also changes daily based on the baby's saliva. So it's kind of a two-way system. And infants actually triple in size before their first birthday. So I want to also bring to light that President Obama and the Affordable Care Act protected breastfeeding moms back in 2008. So Section 7 of the Fair Labor Standards Act outlined the need for a reasonable break time when moms need to pump, which is typically about 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times in an 8-hour workday. There also is a requirement that employers provide a space that is not the bathroom to pump that also has some privacy. This requirement is only for companies with 50 or more employees, so a lot of employees work at places too small to really reap that benefit. Now, the nitty-gritty. I'm an architect. I deal in space. A wellness room is an insignificant amount of square footage, roughly 50 to 60 square feet. It's nice to have a comfortable chair, a mini fridge, a small sink, plenty of outlets. If I ran the world, this is what a wellness room would look like. This is the ideal situation. However, the circumstances vary greatly. I actually reached out to a few moms that I'm friends with to share where they pumped, and the variety was astounding. Mothers are nothing if not flexible, and it was pretty amazing that they've worked with what they could and worked with what they had and really made the best of it. I want to talk a little bit about the anxiety that goes along with this time of life, kind of the unseen challenges moms are dealing with. So you're worried about navigating deadlines, meetings, having enough milk for daycare the next day, not having time to eat your own lunch, cleaning an endless array of pump parts and bottles, and lugging all this crap to work with you every single day. So this right here, I want to show more of the ideal and the good, so more of it starts to exist out in the world. Not just for white-collar moms, but for all moms. There is a real beauty in a space that fills your needs, and it gives you power. It legitimizes a thing that is so vital to your transition to working motherhood. I know for me, these spaces were a refuge in a time of life when I felt like I was being torn in half. And I know for a lot of moms, they probably feel similarly. I don't want these spaces to continue to be overlooked. Personally, I have been so fortunate to work at companies that value their employees, yet sometimes life transitions like new parenthood go unnoticed even at the best places. It's a space, but it's also space in your schedule that allows for you to have flexibility to actually make time to pump and be a person at work. So I want to end with a call to action. Whether you are male or female, whether you are young or old, whether you are a parent or not, be aware of your company's policies for short-term, long-term disability, parental leave, and break time and space for new mothers. And if what you're seeing doesn't align, you speak up. For Superman, revealing his true identity meant things would never be the same. There is a safety in secrets, but there's also a danger. We all have many aspects to ourselves. We bring them to work and everywhere else we go. So don't be afraid to be human, and don't be afraid to advocate for yourself and others. Thank you.